Okay, what's up, everybody? We are back. This is your icon, Dashaun Wesley, and this is going to be the part 2 of Honey Balenciaga. Now, I know y'all saw part 1, but this is where it began, and we have to continue. So, baby, hold on to your horses, because it gets good. Did you have the same contract as everybody else? Everybody was like, oh my God, contract, and Honey got this contract, that contract.
Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning. So... Ooh, wow,
what was it?
I never told no.
I know, because I know you never talked about this because it also hits a sensitive subject, and why people attack that sensitive subject. And I think people never think about what they say before they do things because it hits a sensitive subject.
And that's why they're selfish. Oh. They're selfish.
Well, talk to me.
But I'm gonna start from the beginning.
Season 1, you came in, mind you.
But I denied them every single time. I denied them every single time because either I felt like it wasn't my time, or either because I felt like I was standing for something, because I felt like they were standing for something that I did not agree with. Mm. So season 1, they asked me to be a part of the House of La Beija, to be on season 1.
I remember y'all was supposed to be there.
La Beija was supposed to be on season 1. I denied. I said, I'm not going to be on this team of people. I'm not going to be on this house because I was already thinking about leaving. And it was just like, I'm not ready to be on a show, especially if I just started my journey in ballroom. There's just no point. You know, why am I going to be on this season 1 of Legendary if I don't have the people to back me up, meaning my fans? I don't have the infrastructure or the business name to be like, oh, Honey Balenciaga's on this show, Legendary, we have to watch it. I didn't have any of that. I would just started fresh. So I knew that I had to wait it out. I had to build my name up first in order to, when I come on this show, okay, I could take it over. Why? Because there's no bitch on that show that's more recognizable than me.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
That's what I'm saying. I study this. I study this. Like, I've studied, like, artists I've looked up to for so long, like Lady Gaga. Like, I've studied her art of fame. And I made that my own formula. And I realized that this is what I need to do in order to get to where I need to be. So I said no to season 1. And then they came back to me for season 2. Mm-hmm. I denied them again. Why did I deny them again? Because at that time, I was making more money than you were offering me. I thought that this would be a chance for me. And that's why people think I have a different contract.
So you agreed to the same thing that everybody else had, right? Okay.
Wait. I don't agree to anything. But for season 2, they actually came back to me. And it was like, we would love for you to be a part of this season. Da-da-da-da. We would want you to be part of the House of Balenciaga. And I actually said no.
Yeah.
I said no, and they kept emailing me. They were just so persistent. And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? Because I was already making way more money than they were offering.
You said that. You said you were gonna come back and like, oh yeah, because they, you know.
Because it's like I'm gonna work for what, $1,400, $1,300, $1,400 a week when I already get paid $5,000 or more than that just to post on Instagram. Like, you're crazy. Like, respect my talents because I know that my name also brings the people that support me. Mm-hmm. But at the time, I thought it was great exposure, of course, because it was HBO. It was all these amazing things. And I also thought it was going to be a monumental moment for Ballroom. Like, it's a big thing for Ballroom. Like, I'm so grateful HBO did that.
Yeah, she's monumental as fuck.
Yeah, like, that's iconic. Like, we have our own show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no shade.
So, at first, I said no. Mm-hmm. And then I said no again. Because they wanted to create... To me, it just doesn't make sense how the casting team works. First of all, you casted ballroom houses that don't even exist. That was already strike 1 with me. Mm.
Wow.
You casted ballroom houses that... Or you casted ballroom people that absolutely, like, have no, like, influence in ballroom, I would say. There's so many people that they could have casted, and they didn't cast them.
Can I give you like
not yet?
Okay.
So
you let me know, Ma. I'll let you know. You let me know.
Wait till I'm done.
I got you, Ma.
So it was just like the casting was weird, and then the reason why I said no the second time is because they wanted to pick my own team for me, and it was like the whole point of coming into this competition is to enter with a team that you want to win with or that has a chance of winning with. And it's no shade to the older girls or the other icons in the community.
Keep telling me, but I'm a dad.
But there's some things that, not you slam your back continuously. But there's some things that the icons can't do anymore. And at some point, yes, it's fine. Like, you have a different talent in ballroom. You don't need to dance all the time. But if you were keeping it real, this wasn't a ballroom show. This was a voguing competition. So the reason why I said...
You ready for me yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So the reason why I said no is because they were selecting the team for me. And it was like, you want me so bad on this show, but you're not going to respect the team that I want. You're not going to build a team that makes sense. You're not going to... Like, even Courtney. Like, Courtney said, you're not getting the Juicies unless I pick the team that I know is going to win. It makes sense. You're not going to send out a couple of Basquiats that they selected for you to win $100,000. You're going to want to pick the house members for yourself.
Well, I guess that's why I was like, you ready for me to step in?
Not yet.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to hit you.
So, I had said no to them the second time. The whole different contract thing is crazy as fuck.
Y'all had the same contract?
Yes. There's something in the industry for TV shows, if they were knowledgeable enough, called favored nations. Favored nations for a competition show means that we all get the same contract. It's favored nations. It means no one is above the other person.
No one is above or below.
Because this is a competition show. You can't have someone with a different contract.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, people need to stop acting like they know so much and just talking, because there's so much you need to learn on paper. There's so much you need to learn on business-wise that, and in order for you to, if you think I have a different contract than you, you're crazy. You're on the wrong show then. I did not, I already told them, I was getting the same money as y'all. I was getting the same money as y'all. The only difference is that I was probably getting $200 more. You wanna know why? Because I had to pay my agent. That money was coming out of my check. So technically, I got paid less than everyone else.
Well,
I know, I got paid less than everyone else because I need to pay the people that are working for me on my team.
I guess I now get in this conversation, honey. Let's get it really quick, and I'll give you a quick synopsis about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I feel like I'll go to the casting team.
Okay, that's the first thing. Go ahead.
Let's start the casting team. You want to know how so interesting about the ballroom girls that's out there that'll tell you what they're so good at, but they're really not good at?
Yeah.
You know how good it is that some of the most celebrated, popular people have some of the most terminal backgrounds?
That's what I was just about to say. Also, a lot of y'all got criminal records.
Let's get real, because I'll even go back to when I was on America's Best Dance Crew. Some of the girls can't get on there because of their backgrounds as well. So even I get to this fact of how casting may work, but because they had to pick a team for you, because, you know, a lot of the people who were there for your team, maybe you had a background that they didn't want to talk to you about. Or maybe the people that subjected like you to put there, because if you think about it, season 1, I was supposed to be on the show as a father of the house. And I said no, because you want to know what? I know my worth.
Yeah.
And I think that's the number one conversation about like how it is. And I agree with you with that one too. And that's why I agree with you, because even during the casting, before this whole show came about, they wanted me to be a contestant. I was like, girl, no. I've been on a contesting show before. Let somebody else get there, but I knew my worth where I stand in. I guess what I'm hearing is you knew your worth.
I knew my worth, and that's because they're separate. People from the ballroom scene, or just people in general that got this idea of me in the show. People are separating knowing my worth and respecting myself with being on the humble.
Well, then again, you're in a space that they're unaware of. And like you just said, you just made everyone a light of how it is to be on a contractual reality show.
Like,
but again,
I don't think they realize
how many people in the community have an opportunity to go on a reality show about voguing? Girl, that's what I mean. So everything that you're combating about right now that's been happening, honey, is because a lot of us don't have the education or resources to get that information. Like, you just let everybody know what it is to even have the same fucking contract. Like, a lot of people don't, what?
Why are you yelling?
Oh.
Just kidding, just kidding.
But still, that's what I mean about that. I know that casting didn't do no good or for you, but for them, guess what? Is what they were telling them.
So like
let's also get into
casting to the side.
Now let's get into one last thing is I was supposed to be on season 1, right?
Yeah.
Guess who made it? The team that I wanted. Why? Because I know the ones who was doing the work that they had to do and all the things. The 4 of my kids made it. The only difference was the parent. And that was just someone else.
Yeah. Like the whole like different contract thing and the whole like privilege thing. Like I get it. Like I said, I get it. I get the whole privilege thing. I get how it is. And I seen it with my own 2 eyes. In the industry in itself. I was on a shoot one day and I've seen the privilege that I have over a darker skinned girl.
Mm-hmm.
I see that.
So that plays a part in
ballroom. And I recognize that. That plays a part in ballroom. Because as much as I hate to say it, the ballroom girls don't like the Latina girls like that, the cha-cha girls. And if you bring it back to back in the day, Crystal LaBeija allowed the Latina girls to walk, allowed the Spanish girls to walk. She said, you can walk alongside the darker skinned girls. You can walk.
Well, she said they can walk around everybody.
Everybody can walk now. Yeah, like it's open to everyone now. It's not just for the black girls because everyone needs it now, you know? And I get it. I got that 100%. But now, like, as the years go by, now there's just this stigma.
Well, can I tell you?
And there's just, like, the amount of success that I get is either frowned upon or there's just animosity. Even with my friends that I had to leave in New York because apparently I didn't deserve it. I didn't work for it.
Well, can I tell you something?
But I worked for it, bitch.
No,
I worked for it, bitch.
Can I tell you something? You're gonna get it. You mentioned something again, like, you know, you're always gonna have that conversation about this Latino, African-American or black situation within the ballroom scene because now people even feel like those who are not even Latino or black shouldn't be competing or participating in it. So here's why I have this conversation, honey, that you're always gonna be put on the forefront because,
Because how are we an open community? How are we so accepting of everyone, but we don't accept everyone? And you know that. You know that for a fact. It's not ballroom.
It's the people. It's the people who have been deprived of what they feel they can do. Like you just said earlier.
The people are creating ballroom, Dashaun. It's no shade. The icons that came ahead or the people that are here now, there's a stigma that you can change. There's things that you can change, but people are not choosing to.
Well,
like even like the other situation, like, you know how voguing is so viral now, especially on TikTok?
Yes, everywhere.
People hate it. The ballroom girls hate it. I personally, I don't hate it. Because I'm like, how are we so open to say, oh, express yourself how you want freely. Vogue, dance. That's the whole point of voguing, to express your inner self, to just let it out. But then we're also telling people to stop nogging or stop doing this and that.
Well,
no one has the same access to as everyone else.
Here's where I go into the decency about that, and I make it very clear about this and make it like clear in the stance. Even to where a point when I was performing, not the mix about me, it's not about me, it's about the change that's happening. When I was going out there doing gigs and all the other jazz, when voguing wasn't a thing at all, or even where I had seen a whole fucking magazine article where they said the top 10 worst dances of the world and voguing was on top of it.
What?
Yes, and I remember, and they used a picture of Willie Ninja. I put it on Facebook a long time ago. I'll get it. But again,
what magazine?
I'll find out. I got you the tea. My thing about that is the hard work that you put in to make sure that, like, again, I know the shit that you're doing right now to make sense that's happened right now because it's about equality happening with ballroom because now they're starting to shut out people. Back then, it was so much shit that was just even still going on that still, like, doesn't exist right now. Some people even still trying to get back to the way it used to be because they already know how it will be solidified out there.
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm telling people about the generational change that happens within ballroom. Number one, honey, really quick. How many times, by the way, when I was a kitten, they were arguing about blacks and Latinos in the ballroom scene because the Latinos used to be all like arguing and calling us monkeys and all this other shit. But yes, they, you know, us as African Americans used to argue with them because they used to act like it existed then.
That's crazy.
And existing now too in ballroom, shockingly enough, it exists now in ballroom.
It exists now in ballroom, but it's so minimal.
Oh, it's minimal.
It's so minimal, like, not minimal. It's so like, it's that animosity. It's just that animosity. Like, you could just see it on people. And for me, like, I don't carry that. Like, I literally I live my life with love. Yeah. I live my life with love, and I live my life with no regret.
Well,
I'm gonna share my love with everyone. You know, like I'm not going to hate on you because of your opportunities. Or I'm not gonna hate on you because you have this and I don't.
well, honey, look at how easy it is right now. How many people will come up to you talk about, well, bitch, you're not black. Why are you in the ballroom scene? Why are you being celebrated? Why are you getting commercials? Why are you getting jobs? Because, you know, all this other jazz and they put all the blame on you. Mind you.
Well, they didn't like me as a Beja, remember?
Yeah.
Because they thought I was a white girl and I was winning.
Mm.
But when they found out I was Latina and then I was getting all these bookings, it was like, what can you say now?
Well, then now it becomes a Latino black thing.
Yeah, now it becomes that. And it's so weird.
But again, this is why I'm saying this is why you have people who are putting in change to make sure shit like that doesn't exist. Now, I know why it existed 20 years ago to why Ballroom was what it is. But now I get to see, like, for example, Honey Balenciaga sit at home, be comfortable with her family and grow up and be fine. Compared to 20 years ago, people could not sit at home with their families and be great. But the situation is people are still trying to live on the time that was going on compared to the change that's happening right the fuck now. So when I even get to this moment right now, honey, you have a big job on your shoulders that you don't even, you probably know and don't even know, because honestly, it still fits with me as well too.
It's emotionally like reckoning. Like I feel like I have such a weight on my shoulders, and I feel like I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for everyone else that relates to my story. And it's kind of crazy because even when I was on Legendary, like I went through so much. I went through so much. And for people to disregard that and for people to just not be respectful about that it was crazy. Because when I came back to the show, I came back for my sister.
I know.
And I actually, like I said, I didn't watch the season I was a part of. Because I felt like it brought me to a place where I did not want to be again. And because of the hatred that I got from coming back and just, it was just so much animosity when I came back. Like I didn't feel myself. And I'm going to cry.
Don't be, oh, honey. Well, baby, can I tell you,
No, okay. When I came back to the show.
After you went on.
After I went to my sister's funeral, there was just so much animosity and there was just so much anger when I came back. And it was just so questionable because it was like, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Because I went to go mourn my sister's loss. Why? Because of $100,000? Because you want a title? Because you want a name? It was weird. And then people were just being so fake because they told me, they came up to me that was like, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for everything. But when the casting people came up to me, they was like, they didn't want you here. No one wants you here. No one wanted you back. So it was really hurtful to come back and just try to maneuver through that and just try to like go to rehearsals and try to dance, try my best to dance. And I didn't get to watch my season. I didn't get to watch any of it. Because like I said, it brought me to a place where I did not want to be. And I've never had so many people hate me that I had to see every day.
Can I tell you something? Not even every day, every ball. Can I say something? Honey, I think it's so interesting because, you know, we go back to those moments. I remember specific spats where we even had talks while things were going on because shit was happening. I told you. I know.
They did not like me. I told you when I came back, there was just so much hate. There was so much animosity, so much eye rolling. And it was just like, I'm coming here with the greatest energy. My sister just died. And I'm walking up to you and I'm saying good morning. And I'm walking up to you and I have a smile on my face and I'm trying to hide all the pain that I'm going through right now. And you have the audacity to act like that with me? I just lost a sister.
Well, some people don't even know some of the pain that you was even going through, you know, for that to happen.
They didn't want me there.
They knew, but guess what? Their mission and their statement was on. And to be honest, you were the youngest one there on the whole
Always the youngest one there.
The youngest one there. So why not even teach you rather than sitting here and throwing shade to a little young and make them understandable why things are happening the way it is.
Yeah, especially the people that wanted my advice at such an older age. It was just like, why are you acting like this?
Well, this is why remember I'm going to bring a moment, honey. I'm sorry, Stink. I'm going to bring a moment. Do you remember when we had this conversation? You told me and you sat. I remember the outfit you had on. We was behind stage and you sat and you talked to me. You cried a little bit and like because how people were like going at you because of what was happening. And
it's not my fault.
It wasn't.
It's not.
It wasn't. But like,
and it's like,
sorry,
you guys didn't have. I get it. You guys didn't have the same opportunity that I had. I had an agent. I had people that could communicate for me.
Well, who's blaming you because you knew better?
Why would I communicate to a person on the show after I just lost my sister? I was literally in my room crying. I did not go to not one single rehearsal.
Who's blaming you for knowing better? Who's blaming you for going the right ways to get what you needed?
They're all blaming me for knowing better because the fact that that rumor came out about me having a different contract and me being better than all these people, as much as I went through on that show and as much as I went through just dealing with people that I would never think would switch up because of a show.
Welcome to Ballroom.
Welcome to Ballroom.
Because they do that shit.
Welcome to Ballroom. They try
to make it seem like you were doing something wrong when you went according the proper protocol to do what you had to do, and other people experience it different. Now I'm hearing like people want to compare like situations you can never compare.
Yeah, and they're comparing their losses to my losses, and it's like, how can you do that? You lost someone during the show. If you decided not to leave, that's on you. That's not on me.
So you would have left whether the show went on or not?
I would have left no matter what. That's my sister. My sister was battling in arms. My sister was a part of the Marines. I was not going to sit there and wait for $100,000 that I was only going to get probably 10% of. I don't care about the money. I was going there for my sister, and I left because of my sister. So the fact that people would compare their deaths that they lost on that show to my deaths, if you decided not to leave, that's your fault. That's your choice.
So why do you feel like they came after you in general?
Because I got the chance to leave. And because I had the people to support me. And that's why I'm saying, like, people can't expect, people want shit to come to them naturally. And that's not how it works. You have to work for it. I had people on my team that could talk for me. The first person I called after my mother called me and she said, your sister passed away. She said, your sister died today. And I couldn't speak. I didn't know who to go to. There was no one speaking to me. She called me and she said, your sister died. After a couple of hours passed, the first person I called was my agent. Because who can I call? I'm working. I'm literally working day and night. So the first person I called was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know, like, do I leave this? Our conversation was literally like this. Do I leave the show? What do you think is best? What do I do? I didn't know anything. I needed guidance.
And people don't know that, though.
They don't.
Right? They just think that you just sat there and just lived in a life of luxury.
They think I had a life of luxury, a life of getting paid more, and that's not the case. Literally everything was the opposite. I got paid less. I had people talking for me because I couldn't talk for myself.
People talking about you.
And people talking about me. And people hating on me because I left.
I guess but
it's their choice. Well, if you have no one working for you, if you have no one on your team, then whose fault is that? I've learned this industry. I've learned the ins and outs since I was 16 years old. When I was on that show, I was 19, 20 years old. The fact that I knew more than half of y'all, and I was half your age,
well,
that says something.
This is why I get into this conversation, honey. You actually had more knowledge, and this is what I'm saying. As someone who's in this space, who's there, who's been receiving it even during a time where it was like even detrimental. Like you have a job on your shoulders that you don't even know. You have so many young people, youth and adults who are looking at you like you are living a lap of luxury. You in a whole mansion right now, bitch. You in a helicopter going to like motherfucking Hollywood Boulevard just to be there.
I'm every other artist.
But at the same time, just know you have a job to do. Even sometimes we don't even know. And I'll let you know because I have a job I have to do sometimes when I don't even want to do the job. I have to explain to a bitch sometimes some shit, and sometimes you don't have to. It's your choice. Make the choice because you're in a space, because you put the work in, and that's why you are here for it. Because so many girls want to be here, and because they are not, they'll try to blame you for their downfalls, but you have to sit there and be the best you that you can be Honey Gonzalez.
I've honestly never met so many fake people until I was on season 2.
Oh shit! Damn, girl, I was trying to.
I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, but I've never met so many two-faced people since I was on that show. Because it was like, how can you say good morning to me, but on the other hand, you have people telling me that you don't want me to be here because I left, and it's not fair, and all this other mumbo jumbo. And it was just like, I learned how to become the person I am now. I learned to live my life without explanation. I've learned to live my life with such a strong emotional, like, power and such a force that no one can stop me from doing the choices that I want to make. And that's why I would never be on a show like that ever again.
Well, this, I guess, where we get to this moment right now is like, what's the knowledge that you'll give to others who, from the experience that you've been through? Because what happens now becomes you now become the person filled with knowledge about experiences. How do you share that with others? How do you now become, because honey, a lot of youth and young adults and kids are looking up to you as this Voguer that's out there in the world. So what like from the experience you go through, because it's not going to be easy.
It's not. It's never easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to walk up the hill, you know, and you're supposed to walk right back down the hill.
So what's advice you give to them?
So, I mean, I've realized that I hold such an influential mark on the youth, especially because they can relate to my story. And they want to be as flamboyant, as open, I guess.
It's comfortable.
But the advice I could give is just like, don't let anyone like question who you are. Don't let anyone tell you who to be or when to be it. Because I feel like I was so stuck on listening to everyone's opinions and listening to everyone's story that I wasn't building my own and I wasn't building my legacy. And it was because I was so fixated on everyone else that I wasn't focusing on myself. I wasn't focusing on how I could be the greatest person I can be. And that's not even just voguing and ballroom itself. You have to be a powerful-minded person.
Yeah.
You have to be so sure of yourself and so positive about yourself. And yes, we have those days. I have those days too. But it's how you come out of it and it's how you build out of it. And it's how you remember, okay, you know where you need to be and you know where you need to be at. So it's time to work for it. And it's also time to not be so focused on everyone else, you know, but yourself. So, I mean, I guess the advice I'm giving everyone is like, evolve yourself. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself before you ever please anyone else. Because I was trying so hard to please everyone else and I wasn't pleasing myself. So once I started feeding into myself and once I started giving back my own love, and once I started loving myself, and once I started working hard for myself, and once I started manifesting, and once I started telling myself everything that I need, I worked for it, and guess what? I got it. And I'm still working for that thing. Like, you think I did shit in 2022? Please wait till 2023.
Honey,
I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about albums.
Honey.
I'm talking about everything.
You ain't telling me nothing that I'm not already hinted on, because I already know once you step into this space, what you're capable of. And here's why I say I will celebrate you, because it's very hard for even a young person to step into a space from a community that's so celebrated from old standards and old visuals, and like you now stand in this space. That's why I said you have a job, because, you know, everyone experience and like sort of like ballroom run down or history is much different. Yours is much different from mine, and mine is much different from like a Willie Ninjas, and Willie Ninjas from like a Pepper La Beige or like all that other jazz. What I say about that
as
is,
it grows, I mean, it's different. It's evolving. Things happen quicker, you know?
Well, I'm glad.
That's why I guess I got it quicker, and I'm grateful for that.
I'm glad that it was someone there who was able to be a standing point. So this is why I'm like, you know, out of anything, this is why I wanted you here. And although you asked me 5 million fucking times. It wasn't 5 million. It was like, honey cursed me out like, yo, so when you gonna have me on your fucking podcast? What the fuck?
Because you invited me so many fucking times and you didn't pull through.
Come.
Like I said, stand on your shit.
Close to like contacting you, like da da da. I was like, all right.
No. No. I told him multiple times, you switched up and you left.
No,
you wasn't on your business shit.
Something happened, honey.
Can I get a zoom in?
No, you can't get no zoom in, bro.
Can I get a zoom in?
You don't get a zoom in.
I just want to say that a bitch could never.
I can't stand honey.
Dashaun could never.
Why?
Because you just can't. You're on this road and I'm on this road. We meet in the middle.
Well, since I'm on this road, then thank you so much, motherfucking honey, for coming to my. It's my road, right? I'll see you on yours, Stink.
Thank you for coming to my show.
Yo, honey! This is why. I mean, overall, in general, bring your ass back. Overall, in general, you can come back, Stink.
I'm gone.
Oh, shit. All right. So good. No. Be done. No, in general, like, honey, you know, end this off real quick. Regardless of anything, bitch, I'm like, continuously do what you do. No one can ever create the path for you. You create that path, and sometimes girls will be mad, but let them be mad from afar. But you have a job that you have to do. And I want you to know, stick to it.
Yeah. And to the young people, don't let anyone question who you are. Don't let anyone tell you who to be, because only you yourself knows that.
Oh, shit! With that, I'm going to thank my motherfucking kitten gay mother, my kitten gay mother, Honey Balenciaga, for coming through to my podcast, because it happened and it was done. But overall, please make sure, before we go, all platforms, Honey Balenciaga.
Let's not even talk about that. I mean, I guess right now it's Honey Balenciaga, but probably in the new year when this podcast comes out, it's going to be Honey Gonzalez. Yo. I'm in the midst of capturing that username right now. It's kind of in use.
Well, we already know Honey Balenciaga, but Honey Gonzalez, just look out for you. You already know the vibes, but I'm so happy to have my kitten gay mother here to make sure she put me in some motherfucking tea and chat. But again, just make sure you love upon everybody who is there and out there now. You never know what someone is going through. And I keep on saying that. You never know what someone's going through personally for you to put your shit on them. So remember, you wouldn't want nobody to put their shit on you. With that, thank you, Honey Balenciaga, for coming through. And if you want to make sure you catch out this episode and other episodes, go on to Dashaun.show and you can get there and get anything you need. And please do not forget, I do take comments and also all types of messages.
I'm sorry, was that not supposed to happen?
I take comments on all type of messages, so go to Dashaun.show and go to the contacts and send us a message. And please don't not forget about like Ask the Icon, because I'm in here. And I gotta go because Honey about to break this shit up. You already know the vibe.
Let's go.